Hey guys, this is Irie Starcraft, and I'm going to be casting another 2v2 match for you tonight, and this one is going to be on Warzone, which is a map that I have not cast I think I've cast one game on this, but it was a fairly low level of play. It was before I got all these super awesome replays, and speaking of which, as we see here is RoDent, the red Zerg, who is going to be with Kowboy, the blue Zerg, so a double Zerg, and they are going to be going against red, the purple Terran, and AnTiMaTTeR, the teal Protoss. And this game was sent to me by AnTiMaTTeR. He was nice enough to send me a few of his replays, and this is the first one of his set that I am going to be casting, so I'm definitely looking forward to this. I'm so happy that I got more replays. And so this one is actually this one is actually a random team matchup, because this is funny. I just realized a lot of these guys have been sending me their replays, and in the replay title it'll say like RT something, and it just occurred to me a few minutes ago that means random teammate. So this matchup is going to be a random teammate of AnTiMaTTeR's, which is red, the purple Terran, and now AnTiMaTTeR doing his early scouting. Gonna find out that there is not any early pressure. As we see, it looks like yeah, Kowboy is definitely gonna be going for a fast expand, gonna try to secure this front and center hatchery, which is a relatively easy spot to defend as far as expansion goes on this map, because I have not talked about this map yet. As you see, RoDent is also getting his fast expand down in this corner. There is one main central ramp leading up to the entire top area. There is a mirror obviously on the bottom, but leading up to this area is this wide ramp in the front, and there's 3 expansion locations here, and then the 2 mains that are kind of far. They're far apart, like distance-wise, but it's an easy run right here, and you can meet up in the middle right at this expansion location. And you see a lot of times players, you see red starting to wall in up here, because there are 2 other ramps on the sides. You see this overload place here, but they are blocked by rubble, as I'm sure all of you who play 2v2s frequently know from this map. Though it is strange that this map doesn't seem to come up a lot in when I play 2v2s or on these replays I've been casting. I wonder if that's just coincidence, because I have not played a ton of 2v2s yet, or if that is because players are choosing them as maps they would rather not play on. I know you can do like map preferences. I have not tried doing that, but I wonder if people have chosen to dislike this map, if that makes sense. But either way, this scouting probe from RoDent is going to quickly get fried by these Marines up front from red. And now he's going to scoot his barracks over so he can get that tech lab on, and now the same going on here, and adding a 3rd barracks at the front to complete this wall off right here. And so that is going to allow them to get some fast expansions down here. You see AnTiMaTTeR getting his 3rd gateway, sorry. And I'm wondering, are we going to see a Twilight Council possibly for some Blink Stalker play to try and get around any kind of defenses up here? I'm not sure. Actually, a 4th gate coming on the way. So we are going to be seeing a 4 gate from AnTiMaTTeR. And as you see him chrono boosting that warp gate. So he's going to be placing a pylon up here to scout any kind of shenanigans on these rocks. As always, a good idea to very early on get some sort of pylon, or as you see a supply depot or an overlord, to keep an eye on these backdoor rocks. And now you see RoDent actually already pretty well saturated on his expansion. I want to check the income tab really quick. The harvesters are pretty even, but you are going to see Kowboy and RoDent start to skyrocket ahead in that category soon. So AnTiMaTTeR and red either need to be thinking about getting some quick expansions of their own, or making something happen right now with this small army of zealots and of Marines and a couple of marauders here for red. As we switch back to production tab, you can see red is getting his concussive shells and his stim pack, so probably going to be seeing a lot more marauders coming from him. And it looks like red is pinging there thinking, let's go right after these rocks in the back. But Kowboy is going to be able to see that. The problem is they have been droning up like crazy, so what are they going to be able to do about it? I mean, you see the armies right now are meager for RoDent and Kowboy. I mean, there's one spine crawler defending this front. They might have been able to press the main base here, but instead going to be going after and starting to break down this rubble here in the back. You see Kowboy knows about this, so he's bringing his roaches over to position. Maybe he could bring them up now and get some free shots on these zealots, but this rubble is going to go down very quickly. So the units are moving in, and it is on, ladies and gentlemen. The Zerglings, though, are going to try and come around the back for RoDent and pick off as many of the Stalkers as they can. And at the same time, the Roaches up here from Kowboy trying to force back the Marauders and Marines. And we have a fairly even fight right now. There are a few Zerglings coming in the back to preoccupy the Zealots, but Red and AnTiMaTTeR were able to break that fairly easily right there. And now RoDent and Kowboy are in a ton of trouble because they were sitting there droning up, getting their fast expansions. And how are they going to be able to deal with this? There's a bunch of Roaches getting caught and not even fighting back, getting caught at a rally point. A lot of them going down there, but there's so many units up here that I mean, Kowboy's in big trouble up here in his main. And now AnTiMaTTeR is going to be splitting up his forces, though, from his partner Red's forces, and that could prove disastrous right now because some Banelings are going to try and get on these Zealots. One of them going off, another one. Not a whole lot of damage being done there, though, because Zealots have so much life. And now Kowboy's forced to try and evacuate his drones to his expansion while he tries to kill as many of these units as he can before these Stalkers die. And you see Red talking to AnTiMaTTeR, telling him to remain together because that is the way they are going to best be able to use their forces. And now they're going to press the issue, but with so little life left on all of these, this little bio ball, he could be in big trouble as the Banelings have just finished for RoDent. And there is a spine crawler here if those get any closer. But now the Banelings are coming in. They're on the creep, but they're blowing up about 3 Marines there. And now these units are so low on life, but keeping Kowboy from mining there, and now getting a nice position here, forcing these Zerglings into a choke situation, but finally are able to make it through, and the Banelings start to blow up. And now AnTiMaTTeR trying to kill this spine crawler. Is it going to go down? It does not look like it. Actually, now units pulling off of that and has a chance to go down, but no. Just in time, the Queen and Crawler were able to kill that Zealot. And now they're thinking about a counterattack. No, that is AnTiMaTTeR pinging that, excuse me. And it looks like Red's going to try and grab another base here. He's already got this one building. And it looks like he's going to try and grab another one. Because although they did a number on RoDent or Kowboy's base, and he looks like he's going to try and rebuild, but now RoDent thinking about trying to press that front and then thinking better of it because of all these units right here. These Zerglings probably going to come over and maybe harass this, but nicely done right here by AnTiMaTTeR, warping in some Stalkers, but the Stalkers are running away. Not sure why. These 2 Stalkers and Sentry now realizing that the Zerglings are picking away and are going to turn back around and easily ward that back. So AnTiMaTTeR and Red doing the damage on Kowboy's base and now opting to try and expand. I would like to see AnTiMaTTeR try and get this expansion because it looks like AnTiMaTTeR wanted this expansion, but Red, being a greedy bastard, tried to take 2. And so now his probe is stuck out of here, probably not even realizing that the Nexus didn't go down. And now he's going to have to run over and try and take this base. Meanwhile, RoDent has been massing up a ton of Zerglings and now morphing in even more Banelings here. AnTiMaTTeR just now getting that blink research, so those Stalkers are going to be much more mobile, which is going to be necessary against this massive Zerglings. RoDent actually has a few Roaches out. I want to check the income tab really quick and see that Kowboy is not that far behind, considering he lost his main base, though he is going to be behind in tech. Probably going to be rebuilding that quickly, though AnTiMaTTeR and Red are definitely ahead in the Harvester count. And these Roaches are going to be able to kill this, or destroy this rubble without being attacked back from these Stalkers. With that blink not being done, if the blink was done, he could probably try and blink down, snipe off a couple of these, and blink back up, but really is that worth it? This rubble, it looks like, is going to go down, but there is a ton of Zerglings and Banelings that are going to come in as soon as it happens. It looks like actually 2 siege tanks just in the nick of time there by Red is going to make a huge difference in this fight because they have a nice position here, AnTiMaTTeR and Red do, but the tanks actually unsieging right there, probably missing out on a few shots they could have gotten on that ball of Roaches, but they are going to have to move because the Zerg players are wisely going to try and come around here, being more mobile, and try and do some damage to this front, while red is scrambling to get his siege tanks into position. These zerglings are just going to be able to file right in here between the buildings, and this tank is going to go down, and the roaches are killing the supply depot to further open this up, and the banelings are flying in, trying to make their way back into this bio ball, but really with stalkers and mostly marauders here, the banelings are not going to do that much, and there's not enough roaches here from Kowboy to make anything happen there. And now you see red saying to counter. So really right there the battle came down. Not the positioning was fairly good for red and AnTiMaTTeR, but really the battle came down to unit composition, because those banelings, well, they couldn't get to this mass of marines here. There's not that many marines. There's actually a lot of marauders in here too. So with marauders and stalkers, really banelings are not that effective. But if we see down here RoDent trying to maybe delay this army, or some zerglings getting caught out of position, because now red and AnTiMaTTeR with his proxy pylon is going to warp in some extra stalkers, and they are going to be pressing this expansion, and these spine crawlers that are trying to be thrown down here are way too late, and those are not going to do anything. Need to cancel. I don't even think the cancel went off on those. But here comes the reinforcements. There's not enough here, because these banelings, there's only about like 8 roaches there, and those are going to quickly go down. Though a lot of damage being done to this bio ball with this siege tanks in the back. I mean, there goes the expansion for RoDent, and now he is in big trouble. You see him making these Zerg players right now scrambling, trying to pump out Zerglings, trying to pump out spine crawlers. And you see Kowboy trying to make some roaches. Look at RoDent is trying to make 9 spine crawlers, and all of them being canceled simultaneously. I don't think I've ever seen that before, because they were way too late. And not that they really would have mattered, they would have just delayed the inevitable, because with those 4 siege tanks in the back, that would have only been a matter of time. And Kowboy just desperate right now, trying to send roaches in and focus down these stalkers as best he can. This spine crawler is going to go down. This queen's going to go down. Actually doing a pretty good, a valiant effort, I should say, by Kowboy trying to defend there. But with the reinforcements from this proxy pylon just a click away, a hop, skip, and a jump, if you will, that is going to be game. So a great game there. Thank you, AnTiMaTTeR, for sending me that. And I'm looking forward to casting some more games from you. So that is going to be it. It looks like the opponents left the game, but red and AnTiMaTTeR are still in it. So anyway, that's it for me, and thanks for watching. This is Irie StarCraft, and peace out.